CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Elliot Rodriguez. Welcome to CBS Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at the top stories right now. We're following breaking news, a close call for 7 passengers this afternoon after a seaplane incident near PortMiami in Biscayne Bay. All the passengers have been rescued and there are no injuries. Chopper 4 over the plane when it was partially submerged and has since been moved. Now, according to flight data from Flight Radar 24 and FlightWare, the Cessna Caravan flew out of Palm Beach International Airport at about 1 this afternoon. All eastbound lanes of the MacArthur Causeway are near a standstill as law enforcement and rescue personnel diverted traffic coming to and from Miami Beach. CBS News Miami's Ted Scouten is on the story, and he'll have a very latest report coming up on CBS News Miami at 5 o'clock. Also, tragedy on the tracks. Police responding to a call about a man who they say was struck by a train in Fort Lauderdale. He was pronounced dead on the scene. Chopper 4 over the 200 block of Northwest 21st Terrace. The detectives are on the scene working to figure out what led up to the victim's death. That is a tri-rail train right there. Detectives are investigating a shooting involving a police officer in Miami. It happened near Jackson Memorial Hospital. CBS News Miami's Peter Dench has the latest on that story.
We are at Northwest 8th Avenue and 17th Street near Jackson Memorial Hospital, where we spoke with police and witnesses. Officer Rafael Horta tells me that Miami police received a call about a violent dispute at Northwest 7th Avenue and 17th Street. They say they encountered a man who was armed with a knife. They say an officer was forced to shoot him. He fled towards the Ryder Trauma Center at Jackson Memorial Hospital. They caught him and he received aid there. Now, it's not known at this point what prompted this incident. We did speak with a number of witnesses as well as police. We will also show you some cell phone video captured by some of those witnesses. We'll have much more on this story coming up tonight live at 5 in Miami. Peter Dench, CBS News Miami.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
Right now, a live look outside on this Friday afternoon. TGIF, a warmer start to the weekend, and this is not the only change on the way. Next weather meteorologist Cindy Pressler joins us with the weekend weather breakdown. What kind of changes are we talking about?
We have a cold front on the way, and it will not get here until tomorrow morning, and it will bring some showers, but don't worry. They'll be in and out very early, so the rest of the weekend looks very nice. At this point, 78 degrees. High so far has been 79. Didn't quite make it to 80, but that's very nice. That's about where we should be at this time of the year. Southwesterly winds kicked in this afternoon, gusting up to 28 miles per hour right now. So we're waiting on that cold front. That will move through. Southwesterly flow ahead of it. Once that front moves through, the winds will turn to the northwest, and then temperatures are going to be a little bit cooler tomorrow. But look at these winds at this point. Gusting to 28 here, but Fort Lauderdale up to 29 miles per hour. So the southwesterly winds will be breezy this evening. But if you're heading out the door, look how pretty. Mostly sunny skies, 75 at 5 o'clock, 73 at 6 o'clock. We're going to go into mostly clear skies this evening before the clouds come in overnight. That's ahead of the front. So lows warmer. It was back into the 50s this morning, but now tonight we're only going to drop into the mid-60s, 65 at Fort Lauderdale and Miramar, 64 at Southwest Ranches. Well, we will become mostly cloudy though by tomorrow morning, 66 in Miami, 65 also in the Homestead area. And this is just not going to bring a lot of rain with this frontal system because the air has been so dry over South Florida, so it just doesn't have a lot of moisture to work with. So we'll watch this frontal system move into South Florida by tomorrow morning. And this is where the showers. This is about 6 a.m. So I know we've got big events going on tomorrow morning with the Dolphins Challenge Cancer. Early runs and rides could find some showers there, but look how quickly this moves out. You've got high pressure moving back in, so the winds will turn to the northwest. Cooler, drier air, so this is really going to be a nice weekend. If you want to do anything outside, no problem there. But high pressure will scoot off to the east by next week. Winds eventually turn back to the southeast, and our temperatures will have a nice slow warm up. Heavens, by Wednesday we'll be back to 80 degrees. So let's break down that frontal system. See how it just breaks apart. There just isn't a lot of moisture to work with, so we may see anywhere from 1/10 of an inch, maybe up to 1/4 of an inch. It really depends on where those little showers land. Temperature-wise, down for the weekend, and then here we go again, back up next week. Now we're getting into March, so temperatures should start rising. We should start sitting at about 80 degrees for daytime highs. So we've got lots going on this weekend. The South Beach Wine and Food Fest tomorrow. Temperatures topping out in the mid-70s. It'll be sunny and dry. Look at this for Sunday. Maybe 1 or 2 degrees cooler, but overall it looks like a beautiful day with that dry air in place. So here is your forecast. High on Saturday, 76, 74 on Sunday. Monday, 75, and then we start turning the corner as the winds turn to the south and east. Next chance for rain really doesn't pop in here until next Friday.
Cindy, thanks a lot. We're learning more about an abduction in southwest Miami-Dade this afternoon. Police releasing the names of the 3 people they say were behind it. 35-year-old Nigel Burks, 52-year-old Marcelo Asenjo Garcia, and 29-year-old Cristina Arroyo were arrested and face kidnapping charges. Now, here's the story. Miami-Dade police say it started when a woman called the victim and told him to meet at a parking lot in Sweetwater. When he got there, the woman was there with another man who hit the victim and forced him into this U-Haul truck. Police say at one point they stopped at a McDonald's restaurant in Sweetwater, and that's when the victim told an employee that he was being abducted. The concerned worker quickly called 911. Luckily, the victim was not injured. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says another round of personnel has been deployed and is headed to the southern border. The group includes 76 Florida Highway Patrol personnel and 50 Florida National Guardsmen.
Part of that, we think this is an American issue, partially just because we should have a secure country, and then partially the effects of this border invasion go to all 50 states.
Well, the governor also criticized the Biden administration's immigration policy, suggesting migrants entering the country could potentially carry out a terror attack. A moment of silence is set to take place in the next 2 hours in Lauderdale by the Sea for a little girl who died in a horrible sand collapse earlier this week. Meantime, there are questions about whether this week's collapse was preventable. Lauderdale by the Sea does not have lifeguards, but they are now considering them. The town commission will meet next week to discuss a proposal to hire 2 lifeguards. They would work 7 days a week, 8 hours a day at a cost of $200,000 a year to the city. 7-year-old Sloan Mattingly died when the sand collapsed around her. Her 9-year-old brother Maddox survived. When we come back, more news.
Hey everyone, I'm Betty Nguyen.
And I'm Keith Jones. Coming up Monday here on CBS News Miami Morning Edition, it's something we reported on before here. Animals overcrowding in shelters.
Yeah, it's not unique to just facilities though.
Wild dogs are feral dogs. They are breaking in properties looking for food. And they are killing chickens.
How one man is stepping up and his message to those thinking about abandoning their dogs.
That's all Monday morning starting at 6.
Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. I'm Elliot Rodriguez. The Biden administration announced a new round of economic sanctions on Russia in response to their ongoing invasion of Ukraine and the recent death of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny while in prison. CBS News Miami's Natalie Brandt has more.
On the eve of the 2-year mark since Russia invaded Ukraine, President Biden is taking new steps to squeeze Russia's economy.
We can't walk away now. And that's what Putin is betting on. He's betting on we're going to walk away.
The administration announced its largest round of sanctions to date, targeting companies linked to Russia's war effort, such as the company that makes the steel used in Russia's attack helicopters. The sanctions also include entities outside of Russia, including in China and the United Arab Emirates. George Washington research professor Bob Ortung is an expert on the region.
I don't think it's going to stop Russia's war fighting. I do think it's going to undermine the economy over the long term.
The U.S. also sanctioned 3 individuals in response to the death of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny.
Make no mistake, Putin is responsible for Alexei's death.
The president is also imploring the U.S. House to pass much-needed aid for Ukraine. The White House says the war-torn country is having to ration ammunition and equipment. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer traveled to Ukraine to meet with President Volodymyr Zelensky Friday.
Cross fingers that we're still together.
It comes 10 days after the U.S. Senate passed a foreign aid package that's now held up in the House.
We are with you. The United States is with you. We will not abandon you. We will fight and fight and fight to get this needed aid to you.
Schumer says Zelensky told him Ukraine will lose the war without the vital aid. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
This Black History Month, the American Red Cross is celebrating its partners in the African American community who've helped increase and diversify blood donations for patients with sickle cell disease. It's the most common genetic blood disorder in the country and primarily affects black people. The genetic blood disorder impedes the cell's ability to carry oxygen, resulting in excruciating pain. Since the Red Cross launched its sickle cell initiative in 2021, the number of black blood donors has jumped by 50%.
Because some of the antigens on our red blood cells are more common from people of African descent, we're more than likely to find the most compatible unit within the black community.
Experts say about 3 black donors will match a patient with sickle cell disease. The Red Cross has also provided more than 138,000 sickle cell trait screenings at donation centers. The 14th Dolphins Challenge Cancer event will hit the streets of South Florida this weekend. Thousands will walk, run, or bike, all to raise money for cancer research. There will be a 5K, a 13-mile ride, a 39-mile ride, and a 54-mile ride, along with a 99-mile ride. If you're taking part, you're encouraged to pick up your packets this afternoon at the stadium. The DCC has raised more than $64 million for local cancer research in 2010. Look for live coverage tomorrow morning right here on CBS News Miami Morning Edition. I will be out there. Betty Wynn, Chelsea Jones, Maribel Rodriguez, and others will be at Hard Rock Stadium tomorrow morning handing out medals. Also, several other members of our team will be participating in various events, walking, running, biking. I'll be on the bike. And that's CBS News Miami's Quickcast. I'm Elliot Rodriguez. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS Miami.